All right, so I actually got started making money online when I was 13 years old. I decided I was going to learn how to build a website because for some reason I was a massive nerd and I thought building websites would be cool. And so I was tinkering away learning HTML and CSS and like JavaScript and stuff after school and trying to make my own like personal websites and stuff. And then I had a friend whose dad wanted a personal website. And I mentioned to him that I was doing websites and he was like, oh, can I pay you 10 quid to design my website? And I was like, yes, of course. And he wanted a website at the start of a newspaper. And so I figured out how to use HTML tables to create like a table layout in the style of a newspaper and how to use like the Times font to put like the heading on it. And I spent like a whole weekend doing this and it was super exciting. And I gave it to him. I gave him all the code. I don't know what he did with it, but he gave me £10 in like physical cash. And I was like, whoa, I've made money from this. Nice. That's sick. And then I was like, I wonder if I could get other people to pay me to design websites. And so I came across a website which at the time was called getacoder.com. I think it's now defunct. These days, Fiverr and Upwork are basically doing the same thing, which was like a freelance platform where you would then post your skills. In my case, I was a 13-year-old doing web design. And so I was like bidding on all these different projects and saying, I'll do it for $5, I'll do it for $10. And I was trying to undercut all of the other Indian companies that were like, offering web design services for super cheap. But I was a 13-year-old kid, so I could. And so I got a handful of projects through that. And I stayed on that website for like 5 years. So from the age of 13 to 18, I was doing random tiny ass web design projects as a freelancer on this website. And that was how I made my first few $100s on the internet. Oh, and by the way, in case you are a beginner who's interested in making your first $1,000 on the internet and learning the skills to do so, we have a 6-week bootcamp that is running throughout August and for the first 2 weeks in September of 2025. And if you comment the word challenge down below, then we will send you a link and you can check it out if you like.